sit back, relax, and get ready for the Build Guide. There is just endless diversity. You can run any skill you want, and any skill you want can be absolutely great. Do you want a green explosion? You got it. No problem. This build can run anything. It is absolutely fantastic, strong, and if you want to just have fun and test skills out and see what your combination can find, you can do it. Because since you have so much strength in this build, Iron Will gives you so much power. So much power. So, you guys are wondering, what else can this build do? Well, guys, I'm going to show you. Purity of Fire. We're going to put Purity of Fire in. Now with Purity of Fire, we are going to have a resistance of 81%. Not bad, not bad. We're now going to switch our boots over to Righteous Fire. That's right, Righteous Fire. Right now we don't have any flasks on, but we have, guess what? Life Leech. We have Life Leech passively just from the Marauder tree. So since we leech our life, now we can run Righteous Fire. And now we have a ton of DPS. Because not only are we now leeching life, so we have Righteous Fire, and we have a huge AoE explosion of Magma Orb. And this is absolutely awesome. Especially when we increase the area of effect with the new flasks. It is very, very cool. So check this out, guys. Watch the Havoc. Well, let's say if you guys don't want to use... Magma Orb. Let's say you want to use Fireball. Sure. This build, you can use Fireball, you can use anything you want. You don't have to use... Just because I'm using something doesn't mean you have to use it. You could use any projectile. Doesn't even need to be fire. You don't even need to have that. This build is so versatile, you can do anything you want.
Don't
anything.
Let your dreams be dreams.
Say if you want to get the Pledge of Hands, that is also a very viable option. Is that 106k DPS? So here we have our end game tree. This is the tree you're going to strive for. Try to obtain once you get that coveted level 100. Which I know all of you guys can get. Right here, my friends, we start off in the Marauder's crotch. I mean tree. We literally zoomed in right there. Marauder's tree. Here it is. So right here, we get life and armor. We go down the tree. We come over here. We get all the life and armor nodes all over here. We come over to Warrior's Blood. We pick up Warrior's Blood, and we come up here for even more HP and that more increased maximum life. After that, we come over here and we come up the Armor and Mastery right here. The reason why we come up this way instead of going any other direction is solely because you get that 0.5 life regeneration. Actually quite a lot. It also gives us more armor and whatnot. And we get a lot of our other resistances from our gear. After that, we come over here and we'll head down first. So we head over here to grab another jewel socket. All my jewels I try to get as either armor and stats. Armor, stats, and maximum life. Really look for that 7% increased maximum life. Other than that, if you guys need strength, you need dex, you need intelligence, the jewel setup now is very versatile. You can change it however you want and however you feel that it'll fit your gear and your current setup with your gear. So these jewel spots in this tree are basically just to set up and make it easier for you guys to get the stats that you need to wear your gear and get to that level that you want to get to. Other than that, we go over here and we get an endurance charge. We don't get that many endurance charges on this tree, but this is one that we do get. The reason why we do get this one is solely because this node right here, life regeneration per endurance charge. This is absolutely awesome because it actually stacks with our Ascendancy, which you'll see after when we get over there. After that, we come down here and we go up and we grab Juggernaut, and we grab this life node, we grab this life node, and the reason why we do this, we take out this one here, is because here we can skip this by going straight over these passives that we actually want. We then come down and we get Blood Magic. Blood Magic, Life, and Mortal Conviction. We're not going to use any of the reserve mana unless you want to use that ring that we showed earlier. And so we use Mortal Conviction. Mortal Conviction and all these life nodes give us a huge amount of life. And the fact that we get Blood Magic means that we can take the Blood Magic gem out of our gear, and we can just focus on sheerly damage. And since we have such high regen, we don't actually need to worry about even skills like Explosive Arrow that take 105 mana per time you use it. Is nothing when we have so much regen. We then come down and we go up to Bloodless. Bloodless is awesome. Enemies cannot leech from you. I don't know if you guys have ever been in PvP, but Bloodless can really be useful in that situation.
Ah, damn, I can't leave. I'm running out of mana. Oh, damn, I was near a wall. Nope.
Also, there's a few bosses and a few mobs that also leech, and they can't leech from you as well if you have this. But regardless, it gives you that 8% increased maximum life that we all love in this build. We then come up here, we go across, we keep going across, and we come up to Bravery. We come up to Bravery, we come up to Master of the Arena, and all of these sweet nodes are over here. With the Jewel Socket, Golem's Blood, which gives us that 1.6% regen, and more life here, more life here. And since we grab so many strength nodes on the way, that's even increasing our damage even more because we use Iron Will. So if we didn't head over here, after we head over here, we go up here and we go into Arsonist and Barbarianism. We go up to Barbarianism because it gives us that 1% to maximum fire resistance, which is hard to pass up, especially when you're getting that increased life and fire resistance as well. And you get other resistance as well. We then come up here, we get the Arsonist. On this build, we really favor fire damage. Fire damage is what we get a lot of our, we get some passive bonus just from grabbing Arsonist and the fire damage nodes here. The reason why we really want Arsonist is solely just because that 1% regeneration node is absolutely awesome. We then come up here and we grab Tireless and all of these nodes. These nodes here give us more maximum life. We then come over here and we grab the Combat Stamina, which gives us more regeneration. We had a choice between either going up this way or going this way to get up here. I chose this way because I needed more dexterity. So instead of putting the point into strength, I put the point into dexterity. However, if you guys do not need that dexterity, you instead can go straight up the strength side and get the strength instead. Then I went up to Sanctity. Right here, I get the 1% regen. I get all those bonuses. I come up here, I get that more maximum life. I get that maximum life up here. And then I swoop up here through Retribution. Retribution is a very, very awesome ability because not only does it give me more spell damage for my switch into Molten Orb or whatever I'm using, Fireball or whatever I'm using, but it also gives me that attack speed, which I can use as well for my Explosive Arrow, which is very cool as well. And it gives you that strength and that intelligence. It's just an all-around very good node. We then go up here, we get more intelligence. More intelligence. We come over here and we grab quick recovery. Quick recovery, we grab mana regeneration and life regeneration, because here we get that maximum maximum life, and that's what we're looking for. We don't really care about the mana regeneration, we don't have mana, but we want that max life. After that, we come down, we grab another of the sockets. This one is a pretty sweet socket. It has area of effect, which is currently what our setup is using. It has that increased armor, that 7% increased maximum life that we're looking for, but it also has that 9 and that +9 to strength and dex, which we also look for as well. We then come up and we grab elemental overload. This skill is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I only have a 5% crit, but as you'll see on the video here, legit 8 seconds of more damage, 40% more to be exact. You're wondering, it only procs when we crit. Dismantle, how much crit do you have? I only have 5% crit. However, when we use EA, the crit happens a lot more often. Since we fire so many projectiles, boom, triggered. 40% more damage right now. 40% more damage. Oh, triggered again. 40% more damage. And it's always on. You're doing a map, the 40% will always be on. There, it's on again. It always procs. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's awesome. Awesome skill. Awesome skill. So after that, we come back down here. We go over. We grab Devotion. Grab another jewel socket, because those jewel sockets. Here we grab one with fire damage, attack speed, increased maximum life, and cold resistance, because on my build, I need a lot of cold resistance, and that is why we grabbed it. But your jewel sockets and what you do with your jewels are completely up to you. Nice. Then we go up here, all the way up, and we grab Purity of Flesh. Purity of Flesh gives us some chaos resistance. It gives us more HP, which I like, and it gives us all that percentage life and the intelligence we need to be able to cast all of our high intelligence skills. If we come back down here, back down to combat stamina, we then go across and we grab another node, and we go all the way up till we get to the Shaper, because we have that 1% life regeneration. We come down here and we grab the jewel socket. This build is so min-max right now that even when there's a regen node here of a 0.3% regen, it's still not as good as having the node somewhere else. If we go over here, we come down here, we check out here, we have all the life nodes in this big life node tree, which are very awesome. And these life nodes are awesome to increase your max HP. Other than that, we'll then get to our Ascendancy. Our Ascendancy, we have gone with the Chieftain. The reason we've gone with the Chieftain is mainly we do fire damage. However, this build is completely viable with Juggernaut. You can use Juggernaut as well, but Chieftain is what I'm currently using. The reason why I like using Chieftain is because you get the life regeneration, you get the more strength, you get that more elemental resistance. You reduce the mana cost of spells, which is not very useful for me, but you get that 10% increased strength, which, since we are running Iron Will, that 10% increased strength is very, very, very good. After that, we come up this side, we grab that 10% increased fire damage. We grab that 0.5% life regeneration. We come up here, we grab that ignite. We grab that ignite chance, more damage against burning enemies. Since we ignite a lot, we use a lot of fire damage. That is absolutely amazing. We come up here, we grab the more increased fire damage as well, the regen again. We grab this, the Ramako, Son of the Light. The reason why we grab this is it actually stacks with this one we have over here, life regeneration per endurance charge. So when we have the life endurance per endurance charge, and we come over here and we grab the Ramako, Son of the Light, it actually is very, very good because it stacks together. So not only do you have a 0.5 and a 0. It's now a 0.7, almost 1% per endurance charge. And since this build has 4 currently, you can alter it. It gets 5 if you actually use the boots that make you immune to bleeding, which I actually use for a lot of situations. You have a ton more regen, which is absolutely insane. 6,100 to 6,700 regen a second. Other than that, we then come up and we grab the life regeneration, and fire damage again. More regeneration with the chieftain. And then we come over here to get Hinekora. Hinekora, Death's Fury. The reason why we grab this is it gives us that 1% fire damage leached as life. When we're standing in that wall with the boss and the boss is behind us and he wants to kill us and we're just taking him down, every time our explosive arrow, boom, 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 is hitting, we are gaining so much life. We don't even need to have that life regeneration skill gem in there, a support gem. Instead, we can just use this 1% and gain that regen that we're looking for just with that. And instead of the life regeneration that we would have had in our gear, we can put in the Lestoration, which gives us even better EA setup. Other than that, this also gives the penetrates 10% fire resistance. So with the 36%, it actually penetrates 46%, which is pretty sick. Since we have the 2120 in our current setup, fire penetration plus this one, it adds up very, very nicely. When you your totems kill a burning enemy, or you kill a burning enemy, you have a 20% chance for your totem to get endurance charge. So not only do we have the enduring cry that I showed you, the enduring cry to get those endurance charges, we also get the endurance charges for just attacking, which is kind of similar to the Juggernaut, but instead of getting hit, we're attacking, we kill an enemy, which is always burning. We always light them up because EA has a really high chance to light them up, and it's very good. To level this character up, it's very interesting because you actually use a whole bunch of different skills to level up and get up there to that end game content where you can use all of the full potential of the build. However, since we started the Marauder tree, we actually go the same exact route we went before. So we do the same exact route as we went before, but once we actually hit 65, we then are going to switch to Righteous Fire. So we're going to come down here, same exact way. We're going to make our way. You're going to grab the same exact things you were grabbing before. You might not fully extend into all the arms yet, since the build is not able to do that. For example, you won't fully extend up to Elemental Overload. You won't fully extend over here. But the core in the middle, this core area in the middle, you're going to all grab these skills. And you're basically going to level anywhere you can. A good way to level earlier in the game is Face Breakers. You can use Face Breakers to level up. You want to get to that level 65. Because once you get to level 65, you are then going to use Righteous Fire. And the reason why you're going to use Righteous Fire is a very good skill that scales very high based on the amount of life you have. And since this build is going to be running a lot of HP, and you're going to have a lot of HP and a lot of regen, Righteous Fire is the way to level. So once you get to level 65, you're going to switch over whatever you're doing before and get that Righteous Fire on. If that means you playing with a group, you're playing with people, you feel your character's not strong enough to get to that 65, that level 65, then so be it. But once you get that level 65, get that Righteous Fire going, you will start clearing Master Shield, killing maps. It'll start getting a lot more fun. And a good thing to do is, if you want to look into it, is there's a 6-link one-hander weapon you can use as well. So you can use your pheonix that you get at level 65. You also use that one-handed weapon. It's a wand. It's basically a pseudo 6-link. You can use that as well with that and your Righteous Fire to do even more damage and kill things even quicker. That is a very viable way that you guys can level. Once you get up to into the around 90, then you can switch over 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, around there. Then you can switch over to the Pledge of Hands, the Sire Shards, the whatever else you want to do, and then you start actually embracing the full body of the build. What's up, guys? Not every single person has a Legacy Combs, and that's okay. Items hard to get, so there are a few other options you guys can use as a chest piece. One is to use a regular Combs Heart. With a regular Combs Heart, we still have just under 14k HP. And we have the still same tankiness, survivability, and ability not to die. We'll switch over to the Belly of the Beast. Belly of the Beast, we get a few other bonuses. We get a few more max resistance, which will be good for you guys to get that resistance. And we also have that insane tankiness, that insane unkillableness that we had before with 12k HP. If you guys have no chest piece at all, why not use no chest piece? No chest piece, we still have 11k HP, still able to tank anything. Sure. We can still tank, we can still do everything, and we can still clear maps, no problem. But Dismantle, you still have a bow on. You still have a bow on Dismantle. That doesn't count. You still have gear on. Okay, you're right. For a current setup, we're rocking around a 6,100 to 6,700 regen. Our current gear is a Quill Rain, a very, very close to mirror-worthy, if not mirror-worthy, explosive arrow helmet, a mirrored amulet that gives a huge amount of stats, a Viper Core Ring, which gives me that fire damage and all those evasion and evasive stats, plus Chaos Res and a large amount of life. And then we have my own self-crafted ring, which increases our cast speed, evasion, max life, cold res, which is one of the weaknesses of my current gear setup, and has increased armor and max HP. Our belt is the Vengeance Bond leather belt, another mirrored belt that has a large amount of armor and a large amount of other stats as well. We also have the gloves that I use. These are where the items that I have are not super high caliber, items that anyone could get. Dire Knuckle Gloves, they give me dex and strength, the high life, and some chaos resistance. And they actually give us a stun and block recovery, because in our current setup, we actually don't use immunity to stun. Since we have so much regen and so much life, it's not actually an issue to get stunned. We don't get stunned very often. Even right now, I'm getting hit by tons of mobs, not getting stunned, just because my HP is so high. We have boots that have strength, max life, fire, cold resistance, and stun recovery as well. Once again, I don't care about movement. I'm a tank. I go slow. I get things done with just sheer brute force. The enchantments that you guys, I highly suggest, that are close to mandatory are Commandment of Light. This one gives you insane, absolutely insane regen. Then we have the regenerate 2% of life if you've been recently hit. That is also a very, very, very powerful regen. Our items on swap are a Pledge of Hands, and the Pledge of Hands is an item that actually I don't see many people using anymore, but is an absolute fantastic item for the build. EA, Explosive Arrow. We use Fire Penetration, Less Duration, Empower, Increase Area of Effect, and Greater Multiple Projectiles. That is the best EA setup that I've currently found for my gear. However, some people, instead of the increased area of effect, I see some people use Elemental Focus, I think is what it's called. We also have a rear guard on. The reason why we use a rear guard is a rear guard allows us to block spells and allows us to block attacks. It also gives us a large amount of armor as well. The one that I have is an additional arrow, which is even more beneficial for when you use Explosive Arrow. I'm also using, on my boots, a Life Leech support, a Molten Shell, an Iron Will, and a Cast when damage taken. That basically makes my molten shell hit very hard because of the iron will. And the cast when damage taken is a 2120 to be able to cast the 21 molten shell. You do not need to have 2120. This is just min-maxing my character. Life leech as well. Life leech is very, very useful, very important. You can use it sheerly just because when the AoE explodes, as you see right here, it actually heals you for each of the enemy that get hit by that damage, which gives you a lot of HP. If you don't feel that you need the life leech, you can switch it out for another skill. Fire penetration is also good. A few other things are good as well, but fire penetration is one of the ones that I've used before this, and I wanted to add more damage to my molten shell explosion. For our gloves, we have flammability. We have a summon a stone golem. Stone golem because the stone golem gives us more regen, and regen is really how we stay alive and do everything with this build. We have a blink arrow. I have a low blink arrow because the high blink arrow actually requires a lot of dex that I don't have. So I just put on a lower blink arrow for that. Blink arrow we just use sheerly just to move out of the way of things that we need to move out of the way of. Then we have a cast when damage taken. The cast when damage taken casts my flammability and also casts my stone golem. In the helmet, we have a frost bomb. The reason why we use frost bomb is because when we clear the Hollow Grandmasters, the Hollow Grandmasters map is actually very, very useful if you have stuff that stops more regen. There's a guy in there called Qbot, and Qbot actually has a very tanky character. He actually has more ES than I have life, which is pretty common actually. It's much easier to get high ES than it is to get high HP. Then we have the increased duration. That is very useful because it increases the duration of Frost Bomb. AoE on the ground that lowers that regen. But also, in the helmet, we also have an Enduring Cry. And with that Enduring Cry, we can just hit my current is R, and we can max out our endurance charges as well. And with this build, as you see in the build guide and in the skill tree, for each endurance charge we have, we gain a 0.7% regen, which is pretty insane. Pretty insane. And that is currently the gear setup. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys liked the channel, you like the content I bring out, give me that subscribe button. Hit on that subscribe button so you guys can check out all my future videos. And if you guys liked the content I brought you, give me a big thumbs up, a like. I would appreciate it. Once again, guys, keep it real. Dismantle Super Tank. Hoo-ah! Catch you guys later.